welcome to the New Moon in Cancer transmission. Dating back to June 28th, 2022. Let's take a minute to breathe together. Close your eyes if you feel it and tune in with me. Feel the weight fall off your shoulders. Feel your human body sink into the earth wherever you are. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here to learn about yourself. Thank you for connecting to the collective energy, to slow down our breathing, gives our nervous system a rest, which enables us to raise our vibration. To be part of something bigger, to support those around us. Finding peace in our breath is a tool that we can use at any time. Doesn't matter where we are or what we're doing. Even with your eyes open, you can find a breath or two. Tune in. As I bring you this transmission, the words that come to me are sensitivity, intuition, home, family, intimacy, relationships. All of them very alive in the world of Cancer. On the two extremes of Cancer, you have intuition and sensitivity. Sensitivity can show up as anxiety, as defensiveness, control, and intuition can turn up as synchronicities, alignment, peace, freedom, connection, joy, comfort. For me, this last transit was very, very sensitive. I found in my family and personal relationships, there was a deep sensitivity around really real things. Someone in my family isn't well and is working through health issues. And I found in those moments when I was trying to sort of communicate my sensitivities, my emotions, my feelings around this, it was sort of reflected with a defensiveness or a if you think about a crab, it gets the hard shell and the pinches, and it was sort of reflected or kind of met with that energy, which for me then put me into a place of defensiveness. And what I needed to do, and what I was able to do for myself, was to tune in to my own intuition as to why maybe this person was feeling that way, and to see how in the dance of life it becomes two people in their sensitivities then kind of doing this, which doesn't make anyone feel good. And that person is very dear to me, and that person is very important to me, and that person is someone I love very much. And so to be feeling that backwards really got into my soft spots, and I had to really work through not closing down, not shutting down, not becoming a hard shell, a crab, a defensive mechanism back, and tune into my intuition around why those sensitivities were dancing back and forth between us, which allowed me to find something different and to keep my heart open, to keep loving them, to keep being supportive for them in a way that I knew was safe for me. And maybe it wouldn't have been my full version of what I wanted to do, or what I might have done normally, but I could still be giving and loving and supportive and caretaking and responsive and open without being compromised in my own way, or without feeling the need to shut down. So let's take another breath together. Even as I sit here now and recount this story, and stories are a way we connect with others, and we share our experiences so that we can find common ground. For me, stories are very personal and intimate, and they have a lot of sensitivities because they come from a place where we are touched emotionally, spiritually, energetically, and it's how we can share that experience, that moment that we had with someone else. So maybe there's a learning, maybe there's an offering, maybe there's a sense of reprieve, maybe there's a moment that hearing my story helps you find peace. So tuning in, the invitation being finding the moments where you were met with something that maybe touched your sensitivities in a way that made you want to close down. But this invitation, this learning, sees that we can do it differently, sees that we can offer ourselves differently, and by default bring about a different result or interaction or moment or opening. Find that peace. Tune in. Use the intuition of Cancer, available to all of you, men included. There's a great sense of intuition we can have when we just for a minute slow down to see maybe where the other person is coming from, why they might be reacting how they are. Using this invitation to soften our own shell, to tune in a level deeper to our own needs and what we're looking for. Sometimes we're looking for something from others too. As humans, we all need to be seen, to be loved, to be heard, cared for, nurtured, to experience joy in interaction. So be sensitive to your own needs. Be kind to yourself. I'm confident that in every day there's so many more ways that you could be kinder to yourself around your own needs, feelings, emotions, reactions. The reactions to the reactions. We find ourselves shutting down and then we catch ourselves. How can we hold space for ourselves while we go through that? How can we bring ourselves back to a more soft, malleable feeling, to shake something off, to let it go? I also experience this in my work relationships. When I work in this fast-paced environment or this sort of deeply detailed and intricate detail of events or filmmaking or project creation and execution, I find sometimes my own and other people's reactions to situations or questions or inquiries or investigations or sort of interactions are met with a sense of defensiveness because that person is potentially being sensitive in their own world to something that we can't see. It's something deeply rooted in them that is reacting to our question and our question may be just something that we need that piece of information to then do something else, which is not related to anything other than just getting that detail. And sometimes when we're in our personal sensitivities, we can answer or respond or react in a way that is connected to that funky little piece. And then that interaction, in the same way I had with my family, becomes, a dance of reactions instead of a delivery of information that is divinely sort of disconnected or detached, maybe as a better word, which allows us to move a project forward or to actually be more helpful to the person we're asking the question of, because we're getting a piece of information that can help us do something differently. But often we're met with this sort of like, well, I didn't do that, or I didn't know it needed that. And my question is not about that. And it's not a matter of I don't care that you didn't know or whatever, but it's not where I'm going. All I need is the information so I can do something else with it. And because I'm not in that world where the person is experiencing it in their reactive mode because it's touching something sensitive in them. I again was pushed to find a place of intuition to understand why they're reacting that way. Sometimes I can ask, do you think that I'm asking this because of this, and that's why you're doing this? That's a very direct and a very sort of sensitive, again, not to overuse the word, but that can be confronting for somebody to be asked that. But I also think that this sting we have sometimes from going to the truth is so short-lived, when we realize it's completely different in what we're asking and what we're needing, then the person can, let go immediately of that baggage, of that connection, that they're asking this because they wonder if I'm doing this and maybe I haven't done that right and this right. None of that is really, for me personally, in my psyche, and often for other people too. We're not all in each other's sensitivities, so therefore some of them are just genuine questions. And being able to raise ourselves, raise above, raise our mindset, raise our consciousness, raise our thought process to go one step deeper underneath what that is, and to tune in to ourselves of, was that where I was asking that question from? Do I think the person has the right end of the stick? Often I feel in life, and it's very much what I think is connected to that Cancer energy of we often have the wrong end of the stick. If you think about a lot of conversations that you have with someone, they're sort of like da-da-da, 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 when really actually you're both coming from different places, and once we tune in to learn what they are, all of that other stuff disappears. And I think that's really sweet, to be open enough in yourself to be like, where am I coming from, and what do I need, and how can I be clear with my communication so that I'm asking the right questions, and I'm asking it in a way that I'm expressing what I'm looking for, and hopefully then that can go straight to the place of getting the answer, instead of having this sort of dance around things, which we often do. Let's see if we can find some more breath in there, some more air. Let's give it some air. See if you can let your psyche just dissolve that. Really let your stomach muscles go. Breathe deeply into your stomach. Find yourself find how you're holding your breath, you catch yourself. Even now I'm holding my stomach, getting caught in breath instead of keeping it in a circular motion. Reacting to maybe something our mind touches, and then we hold it. Let's let it go. Let out your stomach. Let it really flop out. Oh, the emotions that came with that. Did you feel that? Soften your belly. I tuning in to ourselves and others, we can feel more of our own feelings and their feelings, to tune in to actually what they are instead of making assumptions. The 4 agreements, which I've talked about before, is don't make any assumptions, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, do your best. Find that sensitivity, that intimacy with yourself. Allow yourself to tune into the vibrations. Vibrations are key in our body. If you really listen to your body, it can tell you whether, maybe even if you're feeling a certain feeling, it can tell you what end of the spectrum are you at. Are you in a sensitivity that isn't aligned, or you are in a place of intuition that is tuning into something? Find that. Practice that. Ask people, are you feeling this? Tell me what you're feeling so I can tune in, so I can understand you more. And our intimate partners, our business people, our family, all of them, learning and understanding where they are coming from is a gift to deepen our levels of communication, connection, and to be able to receive those needs that I know that we all so deeply need, to be loved and to be seen, so we're not in this dance of reactions over things that aren't even happening. Someone reacting to something I'm saying when it's not actually what I'm saying. I'm asking a pure question about this so I can do this. I wasn't trying to lead to that or dig to this. Sometimes, maybe subconsciously we all find that we're actually digging a little bit. And I think that's something to clean up too. Being really clear with your communications. What are you trying to get to? If you have something to say it. Don't dance around it. Because then we all go back in our shells. A whole bunch of crabs in a bucket. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, joining me, being open to these transmissions, to allowing the consciousness to flow from my mouth into your ears, from my soul to your soul, from our psyches to our consciousness, to our unconsciousness, subconscious, unconscious, conscious minds. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm sending you lots of love. I'm grateful for you. And I'll see you next time.